Sure.
Hey, would Ken Griffey Jr. lie to me?
You know Griffey?
Sure, just saw him last week on my TV. And now one more thing, when you throw it to the first baseman, aim high. Makes it look harder for him, too. Okay, Itch, let her rip. Smokin'!
When we talk about All Dogs Go to Heaven, the series, we're talking about one of those cartoons that technically existed, technically aired, technically had seasons, and yet somehow slipped straight through the cracks of pop culture memory. Because the problem was never that the show was bad. It was that it arrived trapped between eras, expectations, and emotions it could never fully live up to. The original movie hit kids with death, regret, heaven, hell, and redemption at an age when we were just trying to watch cartoons and eat cereal, so it burned itself into our souls. But the TV series showed up in the mid to late 90s when animation had shifted toward faster jokes, louder colors, and stronger brand identities, and suddenly Charlie B. Barkin felt like yesterday's emotional baggage instead of a must-watch hero. The series softened everything. The animation, the stakes, the sadness, turning Charlie from a tragic, hustling anti-hero into a safer, episodic lead, which made the show easier to watch but much harder to remember, because nostalgia doesn't cling to fine. It clings to moments that scar you just enough to stay with you. What really sealed its fate was how quietly it lived its life on television, bouncing around syndication and Fox Family without a real home, no iconic time slot, no strong network identity, and no rerun culture to keep it alive in the background of childhood routines. Kids didn't rush home for it the way they did for Nickelodeon, or build habits around it the way Cartoon Network later encouraged. You just stumbled onto it, watched an episode, and moved on. On top of that, the show had to live in the shadow of its own movie, a movie so emotionally loud and unforgettable that anything following it was destined to feel like an afterthought, no matter how sincere the effort. Without Don Bluth's heavier visual mood and emotional sharpness guiding the tone, the series felt safer and cleaner, but also less dangerous and less memorable, and in the 90s, danger and edge were what made cartoons stick. So now, decades later, when people say All Dogs Go to Heaven, they're really talking about that first movie, that ending, that feeling of being way too young to process what you just watched, while the TV series exists as a kind of nostalgia ghost, not hated, not mocked, just quietly forgotten. It didn't fail loudly, it didn't crash and burn, it simply faded politely while the culture sprinted forward, leaving behind a generation that remembers crying over a dog in heaven but can barely remember tuning in every week to see what he did next. And honestly, that might be the most 90s cartoon fate of all. Not cancellation, not controversy, just being overshadowed by something that hit too hard to ever be topped,